All right, I think we can start now. So please confirm if you guys can see my screen. Okay. So welcome everyone. This is your first demo lecture of our course, which is for Checkpoint, and we will be covering entire CCSA and CCSE in this course. Okay. The target will be my goal will be to make you guys understand the concept in a very clear manner so that you can crack your upcoming interviews. All right. And I'll focus on concept, I'll focus on your lab so that you can practice your own lab and you can have a real time understanding of the concepts. So let's start this course. Let's have the concepts. Okay, give me 1 minute. Let me select my pen. Okay, so this is a sort of lecture one where we'll be covering some introduction of checkpoint, its packet flow, and the deployment of the checkpoint, how you will be deploying it in your lab environment, how you will be deploying it in your real network or real organization where your uh, engineer will be taking the box and it will he will be reaching to your organization's location. So how you can install the checkpoint box over there. We'll discuss basic things so that you will be able to understand like how you guys can work with checkpoint from very basics. All right. So this is your checkpoint box. This is a 4600 box. Okay, although it's a very old box, but you can take the reference from this box. This is not a smaller box, I would say. This is a mid-range box where you'll be getting some of the LAN interfaces over here, one console cable, two USB cables, some lights, and some navigation buttons. Okay. In the newer models, you'll not get the navigation buttons. If you'll go for data center devices, then you'll be able to get the navigation button. Apart from this, in the smaller versions, you'll not get the navigation buttons. Okay. These are the ports from where you can, connect your LAN cable, connect your WAN cable, and so on. All right. And to manage this device, you can take the console of this device from this particular cable port. All right. And if you want to take backup or something else you want to do, you can take the reference from the USB drive. So this is one of the box which is shown over here so that you guys can have the understanding. Although I have seen in a bigger organization, in a bigger enterprise level, the cloud models of the checkpoints are getting frequently used instead of the physical hardwares. All right. If your organization is not that much scalable, they will be using the hardware. But if they are scalable, they will be going for the VSX kind of versions. All right. So like I'll be discussing some of the things over here also for VSX and MDS also. I'll be giving you understanding what is VSX and what is MDS, although uh, this course is not targeting the VSX and the MDS, but still I'll try to give some of the understanding so that you guys can understand what sort of technology that is. All right. This is brief introduction about myself. My name is Vikas Pathak, and it's been 8+ years I'm in the industry, and it's been 5+ years I'm giving uh, teaching. I'm giving training on multiple platforms. This time I'm associated with Meridesk.com. Okay. Do not forget to visit the YouTube channel of the Meridesk.com and just subscribe it. Okay. So this will be the topology we will be having in our lab. This topology, will be targeting our like 70% course of our CCS and CCSE will be covering with this topology. If it will be required, we'll be having one another topology. So in this particular, we will be having two firewalls which will be acting as a cluster members. Okay, we will be having one smart dashboard, and this will be my LAN, and this will be my outside internet. This will be my DMZ where I'll be keeping some AD servers for LDAP authentication and some data servers so that we can NAT this server on the internet and we can have the access of these servers from the internet. All right, so this will be the topology which will be we will be focusing on. And for your lab, I want to confirm this thing. For your own lab, I will be giving you how to set up your own lab on your laptop. Okay, and to set up this lab, you need minimum requirement of a RAM in your PC, which should be not less than 8 GB. Okay, at least a requirement is 8 GB. If you have bigger than this, it's good. If you do not have if you have lower RAM value than 8 GB, then it will be problematic for you to build the lab. Otherwise, I will tell you how you can build your own lab and how you can create this topology on your laptop. All right, now guys, this is a very, very, very important point to get 100% from any of the courses. It doesn't matter you are taking this CCSA and CCSE course, okay? It doesn't matter. If you're taking any of the course in this world, this is the best way to get the 100%. How? You have to create your own notebook. I have seen many people are saying, sir, give me document, give me PDF and so on. Definitely, that's my job. Like everything I'll give you. Okay. But all the things will matter when you will create your own notebook and you will revise your own notebook. If you do not do that, believe me, any of the PDF in this world will not make any sense to you. So always create your own notes. And how I recommend to have a copy of at least 100 pages and divide it into 70-30 ratio. In 70%, make your own notes by topic wise. In 30%, just mention the interview questions which I will be telling you topic wise. Let's suppose when we will be discussing the NAT. Okay, in the next section, I will be giving you some of the topics. Like with this topic, you will be having these sort of questions in your interview, and that questions are real-time interviews, which will be asked in to you in your interviews when you'll go for L1 or maybe L1 plus or maybe L2. All right. Now, before going further, let me show you the syllabus which will be covering in this particular CCSA and CCSE journey. Give me just one moment. Hope you guys can see my screen, right? All right. So this is the combined course of CCSA and CCSE where we'll start from very, very, very basics of Checkpoint. Okay, we'll discuss the overview. Yeah, is it good now? Thank you, Fazil. All right, so this is, combined course of CCSA and CCSE, and where I'll be starting from very, very, very basics, and initial will discuss that basics of Checkpoint Firewall, history, architecture of it, packet flow, even I'll discuss that how you can do the first time configuration of your Checkpoint Firewall. Let's suppose an engineer has visited one location and these guys are asking um you to set up the firewall, how you can proceed, what the first thing you need to do over there. Okay, so these all things I'll be discussing in very detail, and like a creation your own lab on the virtual VMware or maybe cloud. See, if you want to create your own lab on your PC, I'll be sharing all the software like Checkpoint software, VMware, software and everything, EVNG software, everything I'll be sharing you on your on our Google Drive. Okay, you can download the software from there. You can work on that, right? Then the different mode deployment mode of Checkpoint, standalone deployment, distributed deployment, and so on. Then certain introduction of the Checkpoint components like Smart Console, Smart Log, Smart Monitor, Demo Mode, Smart Update, licensing, and Blade. These all things I'll be discussing in very detail. Then the concept of policy and the netting will come into the picture where I'll discuss the hide net, static net, and U-turn net, which is very important for your interviews. Okay, and then we'll be having some cluster mechanism where I'll be discussing high availability, cluster Excel, load sharing method in Checkpoint, multicast, unicast. Although a load sharing mechanism is not used much in the organization nowadays, instead of load sharing, we have active feature available in Checkpoint, which is being used by the organization nowadays. Okay, but still I'll be giving you some insight of load sharing because I have seen many interviewers are asking what is multicast and what is unicast, although it's not used, but still they are asking. Okay, so I'll be giving you some understanding, and I'll be will be doing the lab also for load sharing in the multicast. Maybe in near future, if you get any scenario where you need to configure load sharing, you should be having the understanding of this mechanism. Okay, then Checkpoint Firewall monitor, a very vast use of this monitor is there in Checkpoint Firewall administration. I'll be giving you a good understanding about this also. Then uh, we'll discuss the SAM rule. This is very important rule, guys. Whenever there will be any DOS attack inside your organization and the perimeter firewall is the checkpoint, in that case, the SAM rule will be there who can save you from lot of, attacks, or you can say lot of traffic. Okay, then I'll be giving you some basic troubleshooting command, how you can troubleshoot your real environment if you are facing some problem, how you can achieve desired output, how you can generate some files, how you can enable some captures and so on. I'll be teaching you in basic troubleshooting command. This will be CCSA level, and further I'll be giving you some CCSE level troubleshooting also. Checkpoint firewall backup. See, backup in any particular technology, backup is the key, guys, because there will be a lot of situations where you'll be needing to take the backup. Okay, so there are different type of backup available in Checkpoint, which is called smart dashboard, import, export, revision control. I'll be giving you definitions like in which particular scenario you should go for the snapshot backup, in which particular scenario you should go for import, export, and the revision control. Okay, there are certain real-time examples which I'll be discussing with you, and you guys will be having the understanding in which particular scenario I have to take revision control. Okay, then I'll be teaching you how you can add the clients in your Checkpoint Smart Dashboard, server, Smart Domain Manager server. So let's suppose you have only one single admin available, for the administration, and that admin is not able to do anything. Maybe his account is logged, maybe his, that particular common. Most of the organization you might have seen that they are using admin as the username and different password they are using, right? And all the administrators, they are using the same common name to log in the firewall. Let's suppose if in any case that admin username is got corrupted, or maybe you guys are not able to you know, log in with that username and password, then how you guys can add one more client in your what's this coming? One moment. Yeah. So how you guys can add one more administrator and how you can manage your checkpoint firewall. Then checkpoint policy installation process, which is very important concept, guys, because when you will be troubleshooting in live scenario, let's suppose your policy is getting failed and you are not getting a proper error message for the policy fail reason you are not getting properly. In that case, by the percentage of the policy installation, you will be able to understand on which particular step your policy is getting failed and what could be the reason. We'll be seeing this thing in real time in our lab. Okay, then we'll be discussing the daemons, because see, Checkpoint is based Linux based system basically. Okay, and in Checkpoint, because if I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with the Checkpoint, but Checkpoint is based on Linux, and in Linux we have certain daemons, or you can say processes, who perform the actions. Okay, who, who perform the operations for you. So those processes are called daemons. So in Checkpoint, we have number of daemons. I cannot discuss all of them, but there are certain daemons which are very important in terms of troubleshooting, in terms of understanding of the policy installation process, or in terms of manageability of Checkpoint. So I'll be discussing all of those daemons which are very important for you guys to work well with the Checkpoint. Okay, working of the daemon, which daemon will work in how, like in what manner, and if you're facing some issue, then you need to check which particular daemon to verify whether that service is corrupted or not. Okay, now then a most important topic, which is called site-to-site VPN, I'll be discussing. VPN concept is always a very important. It will be your a favorite topic to all your interviewers. They will be spending at least 15 to 20 minutes on site-to-site VPN, or you can call VPN. And there will be certain phases which I'll be discussing, and different types of phases I'll be discussing. I'll be discussing a site-to-site configuration as well as the remote access VPN solution of Checkpoint also will be discussing in this particular course. If we talk about the remote access VPN, there I'll be discussing the split tunneling in very detail, where we'll discuss that how you can configure that remote access VPN solution on your Checkpoint firewall, and how you can bifurcate the local traffic of the user and the organizational traffic of the user. Okay, then a very important concept of Checkpoint, which is proprietary of Checkpoint also, Checkpoint has developed it. It's called Secure Excel, Cluster Excel, and the Code Excel. These are a very important term, guys. I'll be discussing in very much details. We'll be spending approximately 3 hours on these three concepts. I'll be telling you the concept, I'll be telling you the real-time use, I'll be telling you the troubleshooting of these particular acceleration techniques. So basically, with these acceleration techniques, you can increase the throughput, the output, or you can say the processing of your Checkpoint firewall in an enterprise level network. Okay, then current level understanding of your Checkpoint firewall. But you guys might have heard that Checkpoint is having two modes. One is called user mode, one is called kernel mode, right? So I'll be giving you inside information how the communication happens between the user mode or the kernel mode, where the traffic will be landed, when the traffic will be coming from the users, and how it will be landed, and in which particular part it will be landed, and how it will be traveled across the firewall, what all the steps will be coming. Okay, then some layer 7 features will be discussing: HTTP inspection, URL filtering, content awareness, and the last but not the least will be having the LDAP integration with our Checkpoint firewall. All right. So this was the combined, lecture for your CCSA and CCSE course. See, guys, I have given the pointers. There are a lot of underlying topics which will be there inside these topics, which I have not documented right now. You will see in the course, we'll be starting the concept from very basics and we'll be going to very deep actually. So this was the course content. Now let's come back to, our PPT where we were discussing our a checkpoint. So let's discuss, the architecture of checkpoint. And this is, a very, very, very important for your journey, your checkpoint journey. The architecture of checkpoint is called smart architecture. What architecture? It's called smart architecture. Why smart? Because it's called Smart Console Management Server Security Gateway, or you can say Security Management Architecture. So this S stands for security, M stands for management, and last three words are coming from architecture. So this is why this is called smart architecture. So in this smart architecture, you'll be having three components. First one is called smart console. Second one is called smart management server. Third one is called smart security gateway or security gateway you can call it. Okay. So this smart console will be installed on your uh, okay. So this smart console will be installed on your client PC, or you can say admin PC. It's a software provided by Checkpoint. I'll tell you how to download it, how to install it, and how you can use it. Okay. And this smart management server will be the in-between device, which will be this server. It's also a Gaia. What is Gaia? Gaia is the software of the Checkpoint Firewall, right? If you talk about Microsoft, what is their operating system? It's MS, Microsoft Windows, right? MS Windows. This is the name of their operating system. So similarly, the Checkpoint have their own operating system, which is called Gaia, Checkpoint Gaia. And this Gaia was introduced in 2012. Okay. And we'll discuss like how the evolution of this Gaia software was happened. And right now, we guys are working with R81 version of the Checkpoint, which is the latest version. Okay. This is the latest version of our Checkpoint Firewall. So the second device will be our management server, and the third component will be our security gateway. All right. Now, these are the terms which I'll prefer to have in our classes. Let's jump into our very important concept, which is called the architecture of checkpoint, or you can say the physical architecture of checkpoint. Okay, so let's suppose this is your checkpoint, guys. Okay. Let's suppose this is your checkpoint. Okay. So this checkpoint is divided into three parts. Okay. The first one is called the user mode. What it is called? It is called user mode. The below part is called kernel mode. Okay. And here will be your inbound. Here you'll be your outbound. Okay. So let's suppose this is your LAN interface. This is your WAN interface. Okay. So when the traffic will be coming, let's suppose here is your user who is sitting in your LAN and he wanted to access what? The google.com, or maybe you can say they wanted to access uh, any of the internet hosted website. Okay. So the traffic will be coming from your LAN side. Okay. This PC will initiate the traffic and it will be coming to your LAN interface. After LAN interface, this traffic will be going to your kernel mode. Okay, what is kernel mode? Kernel mode is the mode, or you can say a layer, where all your level 2 to layer 4 operations will be performed. Now, what is this layer 2 and layer 4? This is OSI layer, guys. Okay, remember what is OSI layer? So in OSI layer, from layer 2 to layer 4, all the operations will be performed at the kernel mode. All the tables, if you talk about MAC address table, if you talk about routing table, right? If you talk about stateful inspection table, state table. Now what is state table? We'll discuss in very detail in our classes. So these all tables will be maintained at which layer? At your kernel mode. Okay? And then in between we have this operating system and IP schema. So you can ignore this particular thing right now. So after the kernel mode, let's suppose layer 4 inspection has been done at the kernel mode. Then the further inspection till layer 7, because this checkpoint is next generation firewall, right? And it works till layer 7. So to perform the operation till layer 7, this kernel mode send the traffic to your user mode. This kernel mode will send the traffic to your user mode. Now, this sending of this mechanism of sending the traffic, this will be done through electronic signals, which is called traps. So your kernel mode will be sending some traps to user mode, and with the help of these traps, your user mode will understand that I'm getting some traffic which I need to verify. Now, very important concept, guys. I have seen many of the people getting confused over here. Kernel mode is the implementer. Always remember, what is it? It is implementer, and user mode is only have the capability to make the decision. Now, what do I mean by this? Remember, in your organization, you are engineer, let's suppose. Okay, what we engineers are doing? We are configuring our firewalls, right? We are creating the policies. We are deleting the policies. We are managing the firewalls. So we are what? We are implementers. Okay? We are what? We are implementers. But in our organization, there are also a CAB, technical approval team, right? Or you can say your CTO, or maybe your manager. They are approving that change through which we are performing these operations. Let's suppose one user want to create one policy on the firewall. So that request will go for certain approvals, right? And that approval will be taken care, by the CAB team. Now, in this CAB team, your CTO, your manager, or maybe some technical person from your team will be available who will be reviewing that policy, and they will be taking the decision whether to implement this policy or not. Correct? So similarly, this user mode is the decision maker. Whenever the traffic will be coming from kernel mode to user mode to do the inspection, it will only take the decision, and it will forward the decision to the kernel mode whether to allow the traffic or not. If the decision by the user mode will be yes, allow the traffic, it will be kernel mode will be allowing the traffic. If it will not be saying that do not allow the traffic, then this decision will be coming to your user kernel mode, and kernel mode will be dropping that traffic. So although this kernel mode is sending the traps to user mode, so please inspect this traffic. It is inspecting, but it is not taking the decision. For an example, let's suppose you have enabled content inspection. in your firewall. Okay, and you have mentioned in your content that any user from inside, if they are going to internet, they cannot transfer any PDF file. You have created this rule in your content inspection. So when the traffic will be coming and when this traffic will be passing will be matching to this particular rule. So all the source IP, destination IP, port action will be allowed or checked at the kernel mode. But when this content inspection needed, this kernel mode send the trash to user mode and it will ask user mode to inspect the content inspection and send the decision. So this user mode will do the inspection for in terms of content inspection, and then it will take the decision. So it will match whether this PDF file extension is allowed or not. In the rule, let's suppose it's a deny. So it will not take the decision over here. It will pass this decision to here and this kernel mode will drop the traffic over here and it will log the reason that through this particular rule, this content inspection matches and PDFs are not allowed to go outside. Okay. So layer 2 to layer 4 operations will be performed at your kernel mode and rest of the operation for above layers will be done at your user mode. Always remember user mode is not the implementer, kernel mode is the implementer. After let's suppose the user is not trying to do anything, like it's not trying to transfer any PDF, it's trying to transfer some like let's suppose doc file, and doc file is allowed in your organization. So in that case, this user mode will send the trap back to kernel mode and it will say that, okay, allow this particular traffic and that traffic will be passed from your outside interface. Although there will be multiple steps involved inside this packet processing, which I have not told you or like tell you right now. I have not explained you right now, but believe me, this is the working of your particular uh, checkpoint firewall. This is how the packet will be processed inside your user mode and kernel mode. Believe me, if you go for your level 2 interview or level 2 plus interview, this user mode and the kernel mode concept will be asked to you, and the chances of this question is 90%. I have seen interviewer are asking that, okay, what is user mode? What is the working of user mode? Maybe they'll not ask the kernel mode because kernel mode is very much familiar, right? But they will ask what is user mode. Guys, I'm sending one, form, Google form. It will take only 1 or 30 seconds or 1 minute. Just fill this form for, organizational purposes. Okay. So this is how the traffic will be coming to your checkpoint firewall, and this is how it will be passed. So maybe interviewer will not ask you what is kernel mode, but the chances are there they will ask the user mode because people are confused with the user mode. People are confused with the working of the user mode. People are confused what sort of tables will be created in the user mode. I have seen people saying that, okay, state table is maintained by layer, next generation firewalls. So it will be layer 7 table and it will be maintained as the user mode. This understanding is totally incorrect, guys. No table will be maintained at the user mode. All the tables will be maintained at the kernel mode. If you enable secure Excel, okay, we have discussed the secure Excel in our course content. So let's suppose it's a some sort of technology in Checkpoint, and in secure, when you enable the secure Excel, one extra table like a state table will be maintained by the firewall, but with the state table, one secure Excel table will also be secure Excel table will also be maintained. Okay, so before checking the state table, the firewall will check the secure Excel table. If the entry will be available in secure Excel table, then the traffic will be passed by the secure Access table. This connection table or state table will not be checked in the checkpoint. Okay, so people says that this secure Excel table will be maintained in this user mode, which is wrong. No, it will not be maintained over here. It will be maintained in your kernel mode. All right. So you should be like crystal clear about this particular understanding that what is kernel mode and what is user mode. All right. I have seen people, they have remembered that what is this electronic signal, but what it is called? It is called traps. And I have seen in your CCSA exam also this question was there. What are the signals called, which is the mechanism to transfer the signals between the user mode and the kernel mode? That is called traps. There was four options. I'm not remembering all the three options, but definitely there was one option called traps. Okay, so this is your interview questions as well as the exam question also. So if you have any doubt in this particular architecture, you can ask me right now. A big silence, I would say, I will take no, this one. Okay, someone is. Yes, Vijay. Yes, sure. So see, what happens is all the next generation firewalls work on the state table. Let me give you one more thing. All the next generation firewalls, they maintain a state table. Okay, the content of state table I'll discuss later. Even state table will see a real-time state table in respect to checkpoint in our course. But right now, just to understand, this is a table similar to routing table, right? Now, what is the work of routing table? If there will be any entry, the route will be forwarded immediately, right? Similarly, all the next generation firewalls, they maintain the state table. Okay, if there will be any entry, certain steps in the packet flow will be bypassed. First thing, if there will not be any entry in the state table, all the steps in your packet flow will be taken care, and at all the steps the packet will be processed, and if the packet will be passing all the steps, then an entry will be creating in your state table, so that in future the traffic will be passed by this state table entry. Now, in Checkpoint, this table will be generated. All right. Now, but if you enable the secure Excel in your Checkpoint, this is a Checkpoint proprietary solution, okay, to increase the security processes. So if you will enable the secure Excel, this particular secure Excel will create one more table, which is called secure Excel table. This table will be on top of this state table. So when the connection will be coming to your firewall, the first thing will be checked is called secure Excel table. This table will be checked. Okay. And if the connection entry will be there in your secure Excel table, the steps which was like bypassed after the checking the state table, the same steps will be bypassed after checking the secure Excel table. And this state table will not be checked after checking the secure Excel table. If the entry is there, it will be bypassed. It will bypass the state table also. So this is how your secure Excel works, and this is a summary I'm trying to give you because I have very limited time in this particular demo lecture, so I cannot give you the full insight of it. But this is the demo. Like this is how the secure acceleration works basically in Checkpoint. It creates its own table in over like on top of state table. Sorry, can you repeat? Yes, by default, secure Excel is enabled in Checkpoint. Okay, so if the secure Excel is enabled, definitely the secure Excel table will be enabled and it will be maintained by Checkpoint. Yes, correct. No. In Checkpoint, the secure Excel is totally enough. You do not require any other mechanism. Hardware acceleration is there, which is called core acceleration. Okay, you'll be engaging multiple cores basically. So that is called core acceleration. It's a serial flow in this checkpoint. Let me see if I can get to one article for you. This is the, this is the deep packet flow of your checkpoint firewall. Let me increase the size for you. Can you see this secure acceleration, Excel connection table? So if secure Excel is enabled, this particular thing will be involved. These all steps will be involved in your packet processing. If secure Excel entry is there over here, then this packet will be following this path and it will be taking the fast path and it will be coming back to your outside interface. If secure Excel entry is not available, then it will be taking the slow path. And can you see connection table entry will be checked over here in the slow path entry. If the connection table is like entry connection, like state in the state table, you have the entry, then only policy lookup will be bypassed. Else, it will be like if the connection entry is there, then it will be passed toward the destination NAT and it will be forwarded further. But if you like, see, if you have the connection table, see, can you see only the policy lookup is being bypassed. Rest all the things are getting checked in your connection table on the basis of connection table entry. But when we talk about the secure Excel entry, it is taking this particular, let me snip this. If I snip this and if I take this to my OneNote, is it visible, right? So if the connection entry is getting matched over here, it's taking this particular path and it's getting bypassed directly through the fast path. So if you see this particular line, let me show you. If you see this particular line, can you see? It's getting landed to your outside interface. Okay, so if I talk about, can you see this capital O? Can you see this small o, capital I, and this small I? Huh? These are like, this is the part of the architecture of Checkpoint. Let me tell you. So like I'll not be going in very much detail, but I'll try to give some understanding. Guys, do not forget to fill the form I have shared in the chat. Okay. I can see very less people have filled that form. Do not forget to fill that form. So in Checkpoint, hmm. Checkpoint says, let's suppose this is the hardware of Checkpoint. Okay, I'll see. Maybe you guys will not be able to make any relation right now, but believe me, just try to understand what are the concept I'm teaching you. Over the time, I'll make everything sensible to you. Okay. So what Checkpoint says, whenever traffic enters to your firewall, let's suppose the traffic is coming from LAN, it's going to WAN, okay? So they say that whenever the traffic enters, so there are two steps inside your LAN. One is this, one is this. Similarly, there are two steps before leaving the firewall at the outside interface. So this is called pre-inbound. Certain checks will be there. This is why this is called small I. This one is called post-inbound. So certain checks will be performed at this stage. This is called capital I. This is called pre-outbound. This is called small o. This is called post-outbound. This is called capital O. So certain, checks will be performed at this particular stages. That's the reason these are called small I, small o, capital O. And when you do the packet capturing in Checkpoint Firewall, packet capturing, like FW monitor, which we'll cover in our classes. So when you do the packet capturing with the FW monitor, you will see your packet will be coming to small I, then it will be going to capital I, then it will be going to small o, then it will be going to capital O. So if the traffic is passed from all these four stages, you can like 100% sure that there is no problem inside your firewall, traffic is getting passed. So this is one feature which makes Checkpoint stand out from the crowd. And through this, you can be 100% sure that there is no problem with your firewall. There could be something else which needs to be checked, like maybe server end, maybe client end, or maybe in the media. Okay, that's the reason. That's the reason you can see when this small I kicks in, this secure Excel engine kicks start kicking, and all the checks will be done over here. After all the checks, so this slow path, medium path, fast. See, don't worry, guys. This packet flow we'll discuss in very detail in our first class. So this slow path, medium path, everything is where in your small I. After this, your capital I comes where the routing happens. Only the routing will be happened at your capital I. After the capital I, the packet will be thrown to your small o where NAT table, source NAT, and certain like outbound chain will be checked. And what is this chain? I'll show you in Checkpoint. So these all chains will be checked over here. After checking these all chains, it will be passed to your capital O. Okay? And in the capital O, all the things will be passed which was done before small I, which is what? Decryption, encryption, quality of service, and everything will be checked over here. Okay? So this is what the checkpoint packet flow is. If you have any doubt, just let me know. E- Not netting, only specific the source netting. Source netting, and there are some chains. Okay, there are some chains which will be checked between the these pre-outbound or post-outbound. For an example, VPN daemon will be checked between the pre-outbound and the post-outbound. So if the traffic is get like coming on small o, but it's not going out from with the capital O, then certain chains you need to check. For an example, source netting you need to check. You need to check, your VPN DB daemon. You need to check certain parameters over there, which will discuss in our classes. I think we are already exceeding the class time. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else is having any other doubt? No doubts. You guys have filled the form, right? Sure, definitely they will be sharing the on the WhatsApp basically, and this particular batch, guys, will be starting from 24th of September, or maybe if the plan is from first, but if everything goes right, will be starting this from 24th. So who all are interested, they can connect with the backend team, and they can enroll for the courses. I believe first class will again be free, but you need to enroll for the course at least. You can connect with the backend team, and who the students who will be enrolling, they will be getting the first class, and rest of the classes will be paid classes. Okay, so this is what this organization has communicated to me. I think one more thing they have said, I'm not sure you guys can connect with them. They have mentioned if any of you will refer any of the student, you guys will be getting some cashback. Like you will be getting some discount in your course fee, which you can discuss with your backend team. The fee they have told me is 6,999 for this particular course, with all the recorded lectures, the PDF I'll be sharing, the course content, and the lab. All the things will be included in your this 6,999. Also with interview preparation. This will be done inside this particular course, and if you refer someone, you will get discount in this particular course. So regarding all the financials and everything, you can discuss with the backend team. Okay, get enrolled, guys. You will be added to in the WhatsApp group where you'll be getting all the insight of this particular class day wise. And the target is to start this class is from first of October, but if everything goes well, it will be started on 24th. But whatever will be the situation, whatever will be the schedule, it will be shared over the chat. And till the time, I think you have plenty of time. You can enroll for the course. Okay. Exactly, exactly. This secure Excel, cluster Excel, right? These are the terms of CCSE, right? This No, no, no. VSX, no, no. VSX and MDS both are the different module they are having in Checkpoint. They have different certification for that. So, for the VSX, I want to tell you, when I'll teach you how to create your lab on VM, right? There itself will be completing our VSX insight also. I'll not be saying that I'll be completing 100%, but you'll be having. See, what is VSX? VSX is the deployment of your checkpoint on your VMware, on your cloud platform, right? You'll be having the Gaia and you'll be installing it on the VM, and you'll be managing your VM through like your firewall through the VMs, right? That's the fundamental of the VSX. So when we'll be deploying our lab topology on VM, you'll be having the understanding of VSX also. It's not 100%, but I would say 5-10% understanding you'll be creating over there. No, no, no. That's not part of the CCSE exam. Though if you talk about the certification path of this checkpoint, initial you have CCSA, okay, where you have the introduction of all the courses, all the topics. If you talk about VPN, if in fact VPN is not part of CCSA also, VPN is part of CCSA in Checkpoint. If you talk about content inspection, policy, NAT, these all the basics topics are a part of CCSA. Then it comes the CCSE, where all the deep concepts like backup, right? Your CLI capturing, right? Your secure Excel, core Excel, right? Your LDAP integration, right? These all things come under the CCSE, and then you have the VSX or MDS certification, which are the third step over here. Mhm. That will be in layer 7 topics. Do not worry about it. Yeah. So all the layer 7 features you will be discussing in very detail. Okay. All right. So guys, make sure you guys have filled the form. Yeah. Our duration will be, see, I need 35 hours at least to complete this CCSA and CCSE both. 35 hours. Now it's totally depend upon you, like how much time you guys can give on the weekend. If you guys can take the 2 hours class, if you guys can take 2 hours class, it will take 17 classes, right? And 17 into half, approximately 8 weeks. You both like your CCS and CCSE will be covered. So if you will take like 2.5 hours, it will be done in 1.5 months. And if you guys will take 2 hour classes, it will take 2 months. Okay. Any other doubt, guys? Okay. Thank you, OP. All right. Uh, any other doubt, guys? Okay, then. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining this class. Please make sure you have filled the form. This form will be sent it out to each and everyone in the groups also. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
मैं तुम्हें उस दिन से कह रही थी तुम्हें एक बार तो मेरे से कनेक्ट करके मुझे पढ़ाकर एक बार तो ट्राई ऐसा करना चाहिए होता है ना घर पे कि सीधे मैं मैदान में उतरूंगा आप तलवार लेके, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है। आज शाम को दीदी कहेंगे दीदी का भी व्रत है यार। तुम फैन पेज कर लो।